Hello guys, my name is Advait and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today it's going to be a different kind of a video. It's not going to be me playing a 10 plus 5 second rapid increment game, but it's going to be an analysis video of one of the games which I had played just like recently, about 40 minutes ago. And I would like to show this game so that you can see the tactical sacrifices that I have made in this game, and probably you can learn something from it. So let's not waste time. And you can already see the first move, that is e4. Next, I had played e5, standard symmetrical e4 e5 variation. Then an f4, which is the king's gambit, sorry. And after this, I could have rejected, but I took the offer. That's the king's gambit accepted variation. Then he plays knight f3, standard moves, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, and d4. So in this point, I had two moves. Either I could have taken the pawn and maybe got my queen out to h4, or just retreat. So I just decided to just retreat and not take any risks. So I just take my move back, my bishop back, that is to b6. Then he takes back the f4 pawn, which he had lost with the f4 sacrifice. And I play d6 to open up my c8 bishop open file. And then he castles kingside. Now I play bishop e6, going for an exchange, and then he takes, I take, and now we both have open files on the F file. Then he plays c3. I don't know why he played that. He could have just played c4, and he's blocked his c3 place for his knight, which is his optimal place for his knight. And then I play knight ge7, just a standard maneuver. I wanted to go f6, but didn't want to hang on with some bishop g5 ideas. So this would be a much more safer option for me. And then he plays knight b to d2. I play queen d7, and now I'm ready for both side castling, right? So over here I can castle king side or queen side. Both of them will work. But when I play d7, it's probably indicating that I'm going to castle queen side only. And after this, there's a knight c4, and he wants to take my dark squared bishop, which I didn't really mind to take at that point, and I just wanted to get rid of the bishop anyways, because you can't really get into the a file. I can just play king b8, and my knight on c6 is doing a fantastic job of defending a7 and a8, and my pawn in b7 will always protect a6. So these three squares will always be protected, so I didn't mind, and I just castled long so that I can start pawn storming towards my opponents on the king side. So he just takes the bishop on b6. I take back with a, and then queen b3. And after queen b3, I thought of the move. Yeah, I did see the idea of bishop b5 or queen a3, and probably just entering into a8. But I did not take the decision that time only. I just played h6. So the idea of this was to just kick off this bishop from this diagonal. I didn't really like it there. Or if it goes back, I can just kick off and harass this knight over here. And he plays e5. So after e5, I didn't really want to open up my position by taking on e5. Then he takes back with his e5. Then he plays maybe something like rook a d1. And really not to complicate things, I just played d5. And now the center has been shut close, right? The center is shut, and the dark squared bishop is completely useless, at least now. I mean, I don't see really any plans for him to actually play this move. I mean, any move for the bishop is a bad move. Basically, Zugzwang for his bishop. He plays queen b5. I didn't really get the idea of this move, but it was probably to just like he was thinking maybe to pin the c6 knight to my d7 queen. Well, like if I wanted to get it into a simplified endgame, I could have just played knight b8 and just exchange off the queens and take back with my knight. But instead of that, I just chose to first get this bishop of this very strong diagonal of h2 to b8 diagonal. And after g5, he just goes back to d1, d2, which makes his bishop very passive. And then I played knight g6 because my e7 knight wasn't really doing anything. I had two options in mind, maybe to play knight f5 or just to play this. I chose this because it's more optimal. I mean, if I play that, I don't really have much activity, but over here I have many more squares to cover, and if I go here, I can't really support my knight over here that much. And pretty much, basically, this move was to be safe as well as I'm planning for an attack, a devastating attack on my opponent. Next comes a4. Okay, so in this point, I wasn't really sure of a4 because I did see a5, but I can just take with my knight and I'll be a pawn up, and really no option for him to do anything. And I play king b8 just to be safe because even though a5 I'll take back, he can just harass my knight back with uh, b4, and if I get back, there was a mate threat or at least a check threat, and I didn't want to take any risks. So he just plays b4. Now the threat comes in with a5. If I take and he takes, I can't really take back with my knight because the rook will take. So instead of that, I just played g4. G4. I just counter played on the king side. He's trying to attack towards my queen side. I'm attacking towards his king side. It's a very double-edged position in this point. And right now, his both pieces are very badly placed. He can't really move this knight anywhere else. He has to go to e1, and his knight is very weak. And my both all of the pieces are very well coordinated. I can start pushing these pawns forward, and overall, it's a fantastic position for me. And he goes, yeah, knight e1. That's the only forced move he had. And after h5, I solidified my position, my pawn over here because it was isolated. And he plays g3. Well, for this move, I didn't really get the idea because already my idea was to pawn storm towards his king, and he's basically inviting me to his destruction, right? So I can just now push h4. I don't even need to provoke him. Like I can just exchange, and my rook will get opened, and I can get my queen in, get my other rook in somehow, and it's just going to be a blast for me. So after that, I just play h4 because my opponent he just gave me a free option over here. He just gave me a free piece over here. A very subtle inaccuracy by him, but this literally changes the whole aspect of the game over here. And then he plays bishop g5. He thought he's threatening my rook and the pawn, and somehow if he takes, and it's gonna do. But I just sacrifice my rook with h takes g3, right? So the move is because I didn't really want to move my rook and then lose this some sort of position with my rook. I'll still have an open file, but at this point, I would have had isolated pawn on g4, which I really didn't think it was pretty good. And I could see that a5 was rolling in, and it would have been devastating for me if I didn't take care of that. So I just took. He takes the rook, and now a very good move. Instead of taking with the pawn, then which would have enabled him to play king h1, I took with the rook. So you'd say, what's the difference? So the difference now is he can't really play rook f2. I can get my other my queen in. I have my knight ready to plant into these two squares. His bishop is very bad. His attack is stopped. He has to take care of his kingside attack, which I've planned, and it's overall a very good position for me. And then he plays takes with c7, and I mean he really didn't have an option anyways. I just took with the king instead of taking the queen. And after this, he plays queen d3, trying to attack my g3 pawn. And in this position, I had played a very brilliant move. Let's see if you could find it. I'll give you 5 seconds time. And you can just pause the video and think about it. What's the best move for black in this position? And we'll continue ahead. Please do pause, and after you find the move, just comment it down below so I can check if you got it the right answer, and I'll give you a shout out if you got the right answer. And I'll pin the very first answer which is correct. So I'll give you time now. Okay, so hopefully you paused and found out the move. The move is Rook H1 check. This is such a brilliant and subtle move. Like this move is forced in every manner. I'll show you the actual variation later, but let's just analyze what if he goes King G2. Now, if King G2, I can give a check, and now the opponent will think he just escaped with this. But I give Rook H3 check, and after you move your king, I just take the queen. It's as simple as that. And if you, in this position, if you decide to take, which happened in the game, I play Queen H7 check. Devastating, completely crushing the opponent in every manner possible, and every move is a checkmate. It's a mate in one now. And this is such a good position because you can see that the position was pretty bad for me over here. Like he had his pawns rolling and he had three pawns. He can push it back and then he could have got his knight and it would have been a nightmare for me. But he didn't have really time to counter my attack. He should have thought about his king safety first, and then maybe he should have taken the initiative of attacking my queen side. But now, after any move, that's a speciality. After any move, you go to G2 or G1, it's a mate in one. Because if you go to G2, I just play Queen H2 and it's a mate. And if you go to G1, it's anyways a mate. And in this position, he plays King G1 and I just slide my queen in with Queen H2 and it's a mate. A very good game. And it shows how brilliantly you can apply tactics and sacrifice your pieces just to get your opponent in a fix, and you can really disturb your opponent with these kind of moves. And hopefully you like this game, and comment, share, subscribe if you like this video, and just like the video. It would really be motivating for me. And just comment down if you want me to play you or you want me to make such more analysis for you, or any other examples of chess beauties, and any sort of other chess material you'd like me to cover. And as always, until we meet again, keep enjoying, keep learning, and keep playing chess. Peace out.